Salvo Migration here with another partner visa application and relationship timeline case study. The hope is that by watching these case studies, you get a good understanding of, firstly, how long a partner visa might take once it's submitted to the Australian government, but also the facts of this couple prior to submitting a partner visa so that you can compare their facts to yours and maybe pick up on some ideas and some ways that you might be able to strengthen your application and your relationship before submitting to the government. Okay, so this is an example of a subclass 820, so an onshore partner visa that was granted on the 9th of February 2023, so about a month prior to the recording and streaming of this video. The applicant was from the USA and the couple were married. Okay, so let's have a look at the time frame. So it was lodged in June 2022. We then received a request for information in December 2022, which likely would have been something along the lines of medical or perhaps a missing police clearance for the applicant or sponsor. And then eventually, once those were provided, the approval came through in February 2023. So you can use that as an indication of how long it takes from when you receive a request to providing the documentation to getting the eventual decision. It was around 3.5 months in this case, but the total processing time was 8 months. Okay. Now, in terms of the couple's facts, so again, keeping in mind that this application was lodged in June 2022. Always keep that in mind. Date of lodgement, time of application is very important in partner visa requirements. So always kind of factor that in. June 2022, visa lodged. This couple had met in person in February 2016. Okay, so we're looking at 6 years prior to lodgement they'd met. Started dating exclusively around a similar time, in March 2016. Introduced to each other's family back then, both sides really in middle of June 2016, and then other family in March 2017. Joint holiday in June 2018. And then, can't see that image. Let me see if I can zoom in on my side. Then moved overseas to be together in November. That's what that says. I couldn't read it on my screen. So they moved overseas to be together in November 2021 and then married in January 2022. Engaged our services in March 2022. So a couple of months after their marriage, engaged our services to start this process. Nominated each other as beneficiaries to superannuation policies in April 2022, moved to Australia. Okay, so they were overseas at the time they engaged our services. They came in May 2022, opened up Australian joint bank accounts, arranged wills in June 2022, and then application submitted on the 16th of June 2022. Okay, so this is an example of a couple that were overseas at the time that we spoke to them and started working with them. We planned for the applicant to come onshore to then apply for an onshore partner visa, which was eventually submitted on the 16th of June 2022 with an approval on February 2023. So to recap, and because the applicant held a passport from the US, they came in on an ETA and we applied for the partner visa within that 3-month window of their entry. Okay, so came in May 2022, the visa was lodged less than a month after that, or about a month after that. So applicant comes in on ETA, you have 3 months to submit the onshore partner visa. That was done in June 2022, bridging visa issued. Once that 3 month stay lapses, the bridging visa kicks in, full work rights, Medicare, and the ability to travel if needed. Okay, so this is an example of couples overseas coming in on an ETA and then us applying for an onshore application, which is our preferred method compared to applying for an offshore partner visa. Okay, so this couple were overseas at the time we spoke to them. Because they held a passport from the US, we said, let's not apply for the offshore partner visa, let's get you here and let's apply onshore. There's benefits there. We can kind of more predictably guess the time frame it might take, and ultimately you can be together here in Australia whilst that application is processing with work rights. Okay, so that was the context of this case. The summary is that they had met 76 months prior to lodgement, dating a similar period of time, cohabitating for about 7 months prior, started pulling finances, as in open up Australian bank accounts a month prior, had wills 11 days prior, nominated each other as beneficiaries to their super policies about 2.5 months prior, and were married around 5 months prior to lodgement. So that's just some key facts summarized for this case. And processing time was around 8 months, which is a lot more, I suppose, true in terms of what we feel the current average is for a non-true application, a non-true 820, 801 to be decided. We feel that the current estimate is around 6 to 12 months. And if you watch enough of these case studies, you'll probably get a similar feel, a similar vibe, aside from the ones that took a very long time in the prior case studies, which I've given the context and explanation as to why those cases likely took as long as they did. So this 8-month processing time, in our opinion, is a lot more accurate of a reflection of how long a case might take if it's submitted around now. Okay, that's it from me, guys. Martin from Salva Migration. I hope that this case study is helpful. I hope you can learn some things and take some of the facts that this couple had in place prior to lodgement and maybe try to apply them in yours. As always, if you're interested in working with that team to handle your application like these guys, please feel free to book an obligation-free roadmap call in the link somewhere around this video. So we'd love to get to know a little bit more about your relationship to see how we can help, and we'll go from there. That's it from me, guys. Martin. See you all on the next case study. Have a great day. Bye-bye.